Marley from the Energy Boutique with your energy forecast for Tuesday, July 27th. So today we have the moon in Pisces pretty much for the whole day. It is going to go void, of course, around 10:13 p.m. and will enter into Arian energy early Wednesday morning. There are 5 different moon aspects taking place today out of 9 cosmic aspects in the universe. We have a beautiful energy to start us off here today, especially after we went to bed on a little bit of a negative Nancy note yesterday. So the moon in Pisces is sextiling Uranus. And Uranus, as you know, is the great awakener. It shifts us in our mental plane, in our mental perspective, and it is exactly what we need after some heavy, not so nice ways of thinking about ourselves and about our lives late last night. So we are going to feel this shift in emotion. We're going to feel this shift in our mental plane. This is going to really boost us up and really be able to get to a point where we're able to express ourselves a little bit better than we've been doing. We recognize now where it is that we have to free ourselves, especially from the old negative narrative, the old emotional state, and we're ready to do it. We have a sudden electricity taking over our body, really firing us up, really preparing us to take a stand and to have those not so nice conversations that we have been avoiding for some time. Speaking of conversations, we have Mercury still in Cancer. It's making its last aspect to Mars. Now, Mars is in Leo, all fired up, as you may remember. He wants nothing more than to just charge forward. And as you know, Mercury in Cancer is running out of steam. We are highly exhausted, tired of crying, tired of thinking, tired of being challenged, tired of being busted down. And Mercury in Cancer making this aspect to Mars in Leo is just going to turn the volume all the way up on where it is that we are burnt out, where it is that we are exhausted, especially in our mental plane, where it is that we are tired of trying to communicate our thoughts and our feelings without being heard. And this is likely going to trigger a high level of irritability and frustration within us. The moon in Pisces, though, kicks in and makes an aspect with the sun in Leo. And this is illuminating for us all of those negative vibes that we just created with Mercury in Cancer bumping into Mars in Leo. It illuminates for us where it is that, yeah, we definitely dove into the darkness yesterday, where we let Debbie Downer and Negative Nancy really lead the charge, and where it is that we are tired of those, I'm going to say very nice ladies, very nice ladies, where we are tired of those ladies really ruling the roost here. And of course, when we're tired of something, when we're exhausted, when we're tired of beating our head against a wall, what happens? Well, we need to make a change. In that moment, Venus in Virgo bumps into Chiron. Now, this is a beautiful aspect. It's still going to feel a little tiny bit uncomfortable until we get the groove of things here. But basically, this is where we recognize what relationships are actually worth our time and our energy. Because what we're doing right now with Venus in Virgo is we're not only recognizing our worth, we're recognizing where it is that more happiness and more joy, more pleasure needs to come into our lives. And that starts first and foremost with the relationship with ourselves. And of course, the relationship with ourself sets the tone for all the other relationships that we choose to allow in our personal realms. So we do have some relationships that we've been holding on to desperately, especially through Cancer season, when we knew damn well that it was holding us back and sucking the life out of us, but we just didn't want to detach. We didn't want to make that change. And Venus in Virgo bumping into Chiron retrograde right now is showing us where it is that we need to focus on rebalancing the scales within ourselves, heart and the head, and in our personal relationships. The energy exchange has gotten out of whack. This is going to be a huge illumination on who heals us. Yes, we have to heal ourselves, but you can only heal yourselves so much in a relationship that isn't healing you as well. So this is really going to illuminate for us, A, who is worth it? Who do I value? Who makes me happy? Who has the capability of bringing joy and happiness and pleasure to my life? Because all of the ones that you answer no to or go, meh, they need to be gone. You need to start pouring only into the relationships that have the potential to create a stability, a safety net, a security of happiness and joy. Of course, all relationships are not happy and healthy all the time, but you know in your heart whether or not someone is for you or someone is against you. And the unfortunate part is that there are many people out in the world right now in a relationship that they are not happy with, that they know is not healthy, and that they are hesitant in actually breaking free from because it's become so much of their identity. Again, Chiron retrograde in Aries is showing us our ego and identity wounds. Some of us don't know who we are without that significant other. We don't know who we would be if we had to be on our own. So we settle. And Venus in Virgo is not about settling. We are here to heal ourselves and the relationships that we choose to pour into. The moon goes ahead and bumps into, sitting next to, Neptune retrograde in Pisces. So the moon being in Pisces, aligned with its ruler, Neptune, who is retrograde in Pisces, you best believe that there is some huge intuitive insight about to be downloaded in us. We are feeling huge amounts of compassion and empathy and understanding for ourselves. How the hell did we get in this situation? Instead of beating ourselves up, let's give ourselves a little bit of the benefit of the doubt and recognize that we made the best decision with the information and the situations that we were in the past. And although we might have changed our mind, and although we are in a different space right now, looking back on the choices that we've made, we cannot tear ourselves down for that. We have to really lend our heart to our past selves first and foremost, and just recognize that we were doing the best that we could with the circumstances that we had. When we connect the dots to our higher selves, to our past self in this present moment, suddenly we are aligned with something greater. We are aligned with our higher selves. We are aligned with the higher cosmos. And in that moment, we have a vision, a knowing, an instinct on what it is that we want. And what do we want? We want something of meaning and purpose, especially when it comes to our relationships. We just had Venus in Virgo bump into Chiron in a retrograde, illuminating for us what kind of relationships we want, which are happy and healthy ones. So when the moon bumps into Neptune, this is really going to show us whether or not we are soulfully connected to some of the relationships that are questionable at this point, and what it is that we're actually going to do about it. Because there are some situations right now where we are trying to visualize our path forward, our dream, our vision that we are looking to manifest, we are looking to work towards. And the people that we currently have in our realms right now, we don't want them there, but we don't know how to get rid of them between now and there. So this is going to give you a really good indicator on who needs to stay and who needs to go. Just in that moment, Mercury moves out of Cancer, woohoo, let's celebrate, and dives into Leo. I'm going to ask you at this time to go ahead and listen to July's energy forecast, to this main event on what we can expect from Mercury moving into Leo. But basically, it is where we get our confidence back. It's where we become so strong-minded in what we think, what we feel, what we believe, that we're able to communicate ourselves. Every ounce of the new revelations that we are just being exposed to, we're able to tell that story. Mercury in Leo is the great storyteller of the zodiac, the great entertainer, the great performer. So tapping into some creative ways of expressing ourselves, whether that's through music or through art or whatever the case may be, there's a strong calling to honor the heart space, to honor the ideas, the inspirations, the thoughts, the ways of thinking that are currently being downloaded in our mental plane. The moon in Pisces goes ahead and sextiles Pluto. This is beautiful, especially right after Mercury moves into Leo energy. The moon in Pisces bumping into Pluto is creating the emotional shift, the inner transformation between our heart and our head. A lot of this is contributing to Mercury, now fresh in a fire energy, in Leo energy, the heart and soul of the zodiac, the king of the jungle himself. This is going to allow us to really see where it is that we are now free from the emotional intensity that literally had us drowning while we were in Cancer season and while Mercury was in Cancer as well. There is an emotional intensity that comes with any kind of Pluto aspect that will definitely turn up the feels. We have to remember that the moon in Pisces is very spiritual, very psychic, very connected to our higher selves and the divine cosmos. So this is like a perspective changing shift that takes place in our mental plane that goes down into our heart space, charges us up, fires us up, gives us that bold, brave tenacity that we've been lacking, and suddenly we're ready to take on a brand new chapter. We're ready to take on all of the existing challenges. We're ready to make a move. The moon in Pisces bumps into Saturn though. Yep, Saturn, he's going to give us a reality check. He's also going to show us where it is that we've lacked control over our situation, over our thoughts, over our emotions, over our behaviors. Yes, he wants to give us a reality check on where it is that we've given our power away, only because we have the fire within us now to break free of the restrictions that we're now going to be illuminated to. The roles and responsibilities that we've been committed to are likely coming to an end because why? We only committed to them in the first place because it's what we thought other people wanted us to do. With the sun now in Leo, we are more focused on what it is that we want to do, what we are being called for, what our meaning is, what our purpose is. So a lot of the heaviness that we've been feeling connected to the commitments that we've made in the past that we literally just want to escape from, we are kind of being shown where it is that, yeah, we still have to fulfill those roles and those responsibilities, but where it is that in our mental plane, we are coming up with a plan on how it is that we are going to provide an ending to those particular commitments so that we can start doing things that bring us happiness and bring us joy. Mercury in Leo makes his very first aspect in this Leo energy at the end of the day with Jupiter. This is amazing for a couple of reasons. First of all, Mercury in Leo is fired up, confident, ready to go. Jupiter, of course, wants to grow and expand the mental plane. He wants to push us outside of our comfort zone, outside of the boundaries that we got a little bit too comfortable in sitting in. And here's the thing. This is Mercury's first aspect while in Leo energy. This is the last aspect that Jupiter is going to make in Piscean energy. So this is really, yes, turning up the volume, magnifying where it is that our mental plane has shifted, where it is that we need to turn the volume up on our confidence, on our optimism, on firing ourselves up to be passionate and bold, to go after what it is that we want. And Jupiter retrograde in Pisces means that we are firmly rooted, aligned with our heart, our soul, our higher self, and of course, the divine intelligence that is constantly downloading us with new information, new aha moments, new ways of doing things. So this is going to feel pretty heavy on the mental plane. There's going to be a lot going on in our headspace. There's going to be a lot of pressure in our physical head because the volume is turned all the way up on growing and expanding our mental plane out of the very heavy emotional waters that it's been in for over the past month. This is exactly what we need. We're getting fired up. We're getting kind of triggered in order to take life by the horns at this point. And it's a beautiful setup for how it is that we are going to enter into this brand new energy starting tomorrow.